This is a story about war, about those who caused it, about those who took part in it, about those who committed crimes and bore the burden of them. And no matter how long they fled, they always remained on their conscience and on ours. This is the story of escape routes, of cities that served as refuge, of regimes that protected, of pursuits that seemed to be the final destination, but were not destinations after all. Of people who, for us, seemed like anyone else, anonymous, grey. But beyond their apparent transparency, there was a veil concealing the impiety of fascism and war. This is their story, and with it, inseparable, indissoluble, also ours.
The Spanish Civil War was a real test for the armed forces of both Italy and Germany, because it was in Spain where they were able to work out if their planes were any good, if their ships were any good, and also it gave thousands of German troops a lot of training in the battlefield. So this is really, really important. It's like a kind of preparation for a much bigger war.
In 1936, Spaniards suffer the ravages of one of the most intense, long, bloody and brutal wars in modern history. Completely destroyed cities, famine, disease. Following the coup d'etat, Francisco Franco envisaged a rapid end to the war. The main war aim of the rebels was clear: to take the city of Madrid and thus gain control of the rest of the peninsula. The troops, under the command of General Varela, began a rapid advance towards the capital, which they believed they could easily take.
Si me quieres escribir, ya sabes mi paradero.
Against all odds, the Republican army thwarted Franco's advancing forces. Madrid was the scene of several clashes. One of the most important took place at the new campus of the university, where they engaged in a fierce battle to take the capital.
Y aunque nos tiran el puente y también la pasarela. Y aunque nos tiran el puente y también la pasarela, nos verás cruzar el Ebro y en un barquito de vela. Nos verás cruzar el Ebro y en un barquito.
After the battle, there were no changes on the front. The Republic had withstood the attack. The front in the university city, whose apex was the university hospital, survived until the end of the Civil War. The battle in the university city became a symbol for all Republicans and Democrats around the world, and a failure for Franco's troops. There was only one objective: the capture of the capital, a stronghold of resistance punished by the bombing, which refused to give in. On March the 28th of 1939, Franco ordered the start of the final offensive on Madrid and the rest of the territory. The troops defending the capital began to abandon their positions. The rebels occupied the French bridge and several buildings in the university city without resistance. The surrender of the Republic was inevitable. Almost 3 years later, the national side achieved its main war aim. On March the 28th, Republican Colonel Adolfo Prada, with several members of the Republican Army, appeared next to the Hospital Clínico. Near its ruins, they declared the surrender of the Republic to Franco's Colonel Eduardo Losas. The war is over, and with that triumph, Franco is indebted to the Nazi regime and Fascist Italy.
The key to understanding the transformation from an anti-fascist city, a symbol of they shall not pass, to a pro-fascist city, pro-Nazi of we passed, is violence. The threat of violence, repression, imprisonment. You can't rebel against a new power that has been established in the city.
Gritaban por las calles, no pasarán, se oía a todas horas, por plazas y plazuelas, con voces miserables, no pasarán. Llegó pasado, y estamos en la cama, llegó pasado, con alma y corazón, llegó pasado, y estamos esperando no ver caer la porra de la nación.
Ramón Serrano Suñé, Franco's brother-in-law and one of the most important Francoist leaders, closely linked to Hitler's regime, wrote the following words in the Falangist newspaper Arriba. "We must create a new Madrid, a Madrid with the moral grandeur that befits the capital of heroic Spain." Since 1937, the rebellious official gazette of the Spanish state had approved the obligatory fascist salute, so all the photos and official acts of the time show many people with their arms raised in the air. Madrid began to change, from a Madrid of resistance to a Madrid symbol of fascism.
It is part of the scenography of parades and mass services. Any excuse to create the apparent adherence and fervour of the population, to make it very clear that this is the new Spain.
In addition to these events to transform Madrid's international image as a fascist city, it was also necessary to organize other events to attract the eyes of the rest of the world.
In this international context, one of the options is to invite international fascist leaders so that they can see in situ what will be called the glorious resurgence of Madrid.
Count Ciano, Italian foreign minister, and above all, the husband of Mussolini's daughter. He is an extremely important man, because Ciano is already considered to be, possibly, heir apparent, the man who will replace Mussolini in 20 years.
Ciano landed in Madrid on July the 15th, 1939. The Franco regime welcomed him with open arms, in the presence of some of the highest-ranking authorities. Ciano paraded in the streets of Madrid as if he were a war hero, amidst cheering crowds. Finally, he presided over a parade of 140,000 Falangists, belonging to the local and provincial sections in the Castellana Avenue. After the parade, Ciano arrived at the university city, where the Republic resisted during the 3 years of the war. For the Franco regime, the university city was a symbol of its victory in the war. Franco's authorities used Ciano to send a message to international fascism. Spain's capital is ready to put aside its republican past. Heinrich Himmler, one of the most important members of the Nazi Party, leader of the SS, and the architect of the Holocaust, was on a diplomatic visit to Madrid. This visit had several objectives: to strengthen Spanish-German relations, since the meeting between Franco and Hitler in Hendaya was just a few days away, and to initiate collaboration between the Spanish police and the Gestapo, which later opened an office in the German embassy. Madrid was decked out for the occasion. Streets decorated with Nazi flags, blue shirts, red berets, and raised arms. Himmler was greeted by phalangists and members of the armed police corps. Later, he met Franco at the Pardo Palace. Afterwards, Himmler attended a bullfight offered in his honor at the Las Ventas Ring and was greeted with great applause upon his arrival. The next day, Himmler also visited the Prado Museum, a Falangist aid organization, and the National Archaeological Museum, where he carefully studied a map of the Germanic invasions. The visit was a success. Himmler found a subservient city. The message was clear. Madrid could be considered a capital of National Socialism.
It was a short visit, with not many details from a historical point of view. But all historians agree that in the meeting with Serrano Suñé and Franco, Himmler laid the foundations for political collaboration and closer links were established between the Spanish police and Nazi agents. The collaboration of the Spanish police and the Gestapo and of the Nazi spies in Spain was tremendously important.
With the consolidation of relations between Spain and the fascist powers, Madrid became an ideal place for the Axis information services. From 1939 onwards, Italy and Germany increased their diplomatic presence in the city. The Abwehr, Germany's military intelligence service, headed by Admiral Wilhelm Canaris, began to operate. It conducted political, economic, and military espionage in search of reports on the aircraft industry and anti-submarine warfare. Abwehr espionage networks in Portugal, Switzerland, and North Africa paid huge sums of money for any information that could be leaked about this. In 1940, Madrid, and by extension all of Spain, joined this network, as German agents could act with impunity in Franco's Spain. Rather than drawing Spain into the conflict, German intelligence services focused on stabilizing the Franco regime and securing its continued support for the Third Reich's war effort. To do this, the German ambassador in Madrid, Eberhard von Storer, appointed Hans Lazar, feared as a ruthless officer, as head of all propaganda activities. Lazar knew how to operate efficaciously, expanding his agenda with several contacts within the Spanish government, the Falange, and the main newspapers. He regularly held meetings with the editors of ABC, UP, and other newspapers, as well as with Falangists linked to the press department.
Hans Lazar is a key figure in Spain in the 1940s. He's a very elegant man, immaculately dressed in a suit with his little moustache, his hair slicked back, his monocle, his shiny black shoes. Lazar was the head of propaganda at the press embassy in Madrid, with a significant team of people under him. He did a very important job for Hitler at the time, because he mastered propaganda in a brilliant way.
Lazar ensured that the Spanish press presented a favorable view of Germany, which fostered distrust of Great Britain. Lazar's department was Germany's most effective propaganda agency outside its borders.